Are you busy all day but still feel like you're not getting anywhere? Like success is always one step ahead, no matter how hard you try. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People has changed millions of lives, not with tricks or shortcuts, but with timeless principles that turn ordinary people into truly effective leaders of their own lives. This summary isn't just about habits. It's about a complete shift in how you think, work, and live. And if you're serious about unlocking your full potential, make sure to subscribe, because we share powerful, life-changing books just like this every week. Now, let's begin with the very first habit that lays the foundation for everything else. Be proactive. Habit 1. Be proactive. Most people go through life reacting to circumstances, blaming traffic for their bad mood, the economy for their finances, or other people for their unhappiness. Stephen Covey calls this a reactive mindset. But highly effective people think differently. They focus on what they can control, not what they can't. Being proactive means taking full responsibility for your choices, your emotions, and your results. Instead of saying, "I can't," you ask, "What can I do right now?" It's about shifting from being at the mercy of life to becoming the driver of your own life. This habit is the foundation because it gives you personal power. Once you stop waiting for conditions to change and start acting on what's within your control, everything else becomes possible. Now, once you take control of your choices, the next question becomes, where are you heading? This brings us to habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Imagine climbing a ladder your whole life, only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. That's what happens when we work hard without a clear sense of purpose. Covey emphasizes that highly effective people define their destination before they start the journey. This habit is about creating a mental blueprint for your life, knowing what really matters to you, then making decisions aligned with those values. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What legacy do I want to leave? If my life were a story, what would I want the ending to look like? Covey even suggests writing a personal mission statement, your own guiding compass. Once you know your ultimate direction, every choice becomes easier because you're not just reacting, you're moving intentionally toward your vision. But knowing your destination is only half the battle. The next step is making sure your daily actions reflect those priorities. That's where habit 3 comes in. Put first things first. If habit 2 is about knowing where you want to go, habit 3 is about actually walking in that direction every single day. Covey calls this habit the discipline of execution, living by priorities instead of reacting to distractions. Most people spend their time on what feels urgent, endless emails, small crises, other people's demands. But effective people focus on what's important, even if it isn't urgent. Things like planning, learning, building relationships, and taking care of health. Covey uses the time management matrix, which divides tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important crises, not urgent but important growth activities, urgent but not important interruptions, not urgent and not important time wasters. Highly effective people spend more time in quadrant 2, not urgent but important, because that's where real progress happens. This habit is about saying no to distractions so you can say yes to what truly matters. Once you start managing yourself effectively, the next step is learning to work effectively with others. If habit 2 is about knowing where you want to go, habit 3 is about actually walking in that direction every single day. Covey calls this habit the discipline of execution, living by priorities instead of reacting to distractions. Most people spend their time on what feels urgent, endless emails, small crises, other people's demands. But effective people focus on what's important, even if it isn't urgent. Things like planning, learning, building relationships, and taking care of health. Covey uses the time management matrix, which divides tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important crises, not urgent but important growth activities, urgent but not important interruptions, not urgent and not important time wasters. Highly effective people spend more time in quadrant 2, not urgent but important, because that's where real progress happens. This habit is about saying no to distractions so you can say yes to what truly matters. Once you start managing yourself effectively, the next step is learning to work effectively with others. That's where habit 4 comes in. Think win-win. Up to now, Covey's habits focused on personal mastery. But life isn't lived in isolation. It's built on relationships. Habit 4 is about adopting a win-win mindset, seeking solutions where everyone benefits rather than competing for limited rewards. Most people approach situations as win-lose, I succeed, you fail, lose-win, I give in, you win, or even lose-lose, if I can't win, you won't either. Win-win is different. It's built on abundance thinking, the belief that success is not a zero-sum game. This habit requires character, integrity, maturity, and an abundance mentality. Relationships, mutual trust so both sides feel safe to share real interests. Agreements, clear expectations where everyone's needs are met. When you think win-win, you stop seeing others as obstacles and start seeing them as partners. You stop fighting for a bigger slice of the pie and start baking a bigger pie together. But win-win can't exist without understanding others deeply. That's where habit 5 comes in. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most people listen with the intent to reply, not to truly understand. We're busy preparing what to say next, filtering everything through our own perspective, and as a result, we miss what others are really saying. Covey calls for empathetic listening, listening to genuinely understand another person's thoughts, feelings, and concerns before offering your own viewpoint. When people feel deeply understood, they become far more open to hearing you in return. This habit flips the usual communication pattern. Instead of listen to me first, it becomes I'll listen to you first. It's about building trust, diffusing conflict, and finding common ground. The skill involves withholding judgment while someone speaks, asking clarifying questions instead of jumping to conclusions, reflecting back what you've heard to confirm you understand. Only after you've built this bridge of understanding can you share your own perspective effectively. When people feel understood, collaboration flourishes, which sets the stage for habit 6, synergize, where combined strengths create far greater results than anyone could achieve alone. Habit 6, synergize. Synergy is about creating results that are greater than the sum of their parts. In simple terms, it's when collaboration produces something far better than any individual could achieve alone. Most people think of compromise as the goal in teamwork. I'll give up a little, you give up a little, and we'll meet in the middle. But Covey points out that true synergy isn't compromise, it's creative cooperation. When we value differences instead of resisting them, we unlock fresh solutions. Different viewpoints, skills, and strengths become assets rather than obstacles. Example: 2 people with opposing ideas brainstorm together. Instead of arguing over whose idea wins, they combine their insights into a solution that neither would have imagined alone. This habit demands humility, respect, and a belief that we is greater than me. And it's not just for teams. It applies to families, friendships, and even personal growth. But to create synergy with others, you must first be at your best. That's where habit 7 comes in. Sharpen the saw, a reminder that personal renewal fuels everything else. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Covey calls this habit the key to maintaining all the others. Think of yourself as a saw cutting wood. If you never stop to sharpen the blade, you'll get slower, weaker, and less effective over time. Sharpening the saw means regularly renewing yourself in 4 areas: physical, exercise; healthy eating, rest; mental, continuous learning, reading, challenging your mind; social/emotional, nurturing relationships, building trust, contributing to others; spiritual, connecting with your deeper purpose through reflection, nature, or faith. This isn't about being selfish. It's about sustainability. When you invest in your personal growth and well-being, you have the energy and clarity to lead, love, and create at your highest potential. So, the 7 habits of highly effective people isn't just a list of tips. It's a framework for living a principled, purpose-driven life. It begins with mastering yourself, habits 1 to 3. It expands to building powerful relationships, habits 4 to 6. And it never ends because sharpening the saw, habit 7, keeps you growing and effective for life. If you put these habits into practice, you won't just achieve success, you'll become the kind of person success naturally follows. This book isn't just a book. It's a blueprint for transforming your mindset, your relationships, and your results. Master these habits, and you won't just do more, you'll become more. But remember, change doesn't happen overnight. True effectiveness is built daily, with consistent action, reflection, and renewal. If you found this summary valuable and want more life-changing lessons from the world's best books, make sure you subscribe now so you never miss the next one. Your journey to becoming your most effective self starts today, and this is just the beginning.